Oh, hey, what's up? You're good. I miss all the streams. Don't worry about it. If you did miss last night's stream, though, at the very end, field documents come out. He lost a major portion of his case against Bree. You might have seen it already. Oh, good deal. I'm addicted to checking out Facebook Marketplace. Just random shit I can't even afford. I just like, I don't know, look, that's a good deal on that, whether it is or not, but I did find a Starlink satellite I'm going to go check out. We have right a Starlink that someone is loaning to us. But I know that's not going to last forever, and I don't know when we're going to get real internet back. So I found a used one. I have to start paying the Starlink this month, but the equipment's supposed to be free. But I'm afraid eventually they're gonna need the equipment back before we get our internet back. It wouldn't be a big deal if we had cell phone service. I'm not trying to be like a prima donna with the internet, but we have like no cell phone service either, so kind of screwed there. Hey, Tsuko, I'd like to officially announce that no one gives a fuck. So thank you. I was watching a documentary on your home the other night. Ali and Mariah were watching it when I came in at Tsuko. Yeah, it was called Shin Godzilla. I think was the name of it. currently. Only since the hurricane. We did have fiber internet, which is the internet I have at the office, which is really, really good. Like it's 1 gig up, 1 gig down, especially for like a small town. There's nothing that can compete with our like local fiber internet. But Helene wiped all of the utilities out, and they were really quick to restore obviously water and power. But the fiber right before Helene, our neighbors were doing some upgrades, and they dug up the fiber line probably 10 times last year and like broke it. So it had been patched together and patched together and patched together and patched together. So when Helene came out and ripped a big section out that ran beside the river, maybe like 100 feet of it, they decided that they just need to run a completely new line. And just today when I was leaving, they were putting soft conduit in, like plastic conduit, underground conduit. They were putting conduit in. So I don't know if they're going to put that conduit in and immediately pull lines and hook us up, or if they're putting conduit in and their people who run the lines come in a year from now and do it. I have no idea, and they can't really give me an answer. So I don't like giving Elon Musk money. I would love to get away from Starlink, but no cell phone service. We have to have something, and Starlink's the only option we have right now. All right, let's get started.
Hey Daddies, it's me, the Linda Binda from TikTok. I wanted to make this video because I wanted to thank you for watching Cold Beer Confessionals with Will Bird. I think that's just incredible. I've watched a few episodes and I'm just like very intrigued. But you know what I'm most intrigued in is Big Daddy's meat stick. I heard that it's very thick, like a good old German sausage. You know, Linda and her coochie loves that. Oh, never mind. Let's not go there. Anyways, I hope you have a good show and enjoy it as you can. There's a lot of weird things that go on, especially when it comes from the realm of Linda Bindaland. So, enjoy the show. Thanks for watching. Peace out.
Welcome everybody. I am Will Bird, and this is the Cold Beer Confessional. Thank you for joining us. If you want to support the stream, do that at coldbeer.fund, and remember to follow me on all my social media platforms, especially if you have TikTok. I'm trying to get to 10K on TikTok. I think I'm like at 6,000 or 7,000. So 10K on TikTok or all the other platforms that are listed there. And there's also ways to donate and support the show. So thank you for that. Real quick, before we get started, I remembered what we were talking about at the end of last night's show. So a lot of you guys are newer viewers. But maybe a year ago or maybe more, I took my Patreon members with me for a secret plan. It was only my upper tier Patreon members that knew what was going on. So I had them all make fake YouTube accounts that were like MAGA Mom and Trump Granny and shit like that, right? Like Q-tard YouTube accounts. And I started a channel called Nick Swick. And the reason I called it Nick Swick is because the acronym, Nothing Can Stop, so NCSWIC. So SWIC was the last name and NC is the first name. It was Nick Swick. And we started this channel, and I had a background. I don't think it's still on here. I had like this really like this background that was like Dave X22 guy. It was like an office looking out over a dark city, and I had a shadow figure that was me that stood in the corner. It was just like a plain figure. It didn't move or anything. It was just a shadow figure, and I had a voice changer. And we started doing the crazy QAnon shit as a joke, okay? And all my fans got to play Q-tards. So they'd be like, thank God it's coming, blah, blah, blah. Now, the reason I had this idea, though, was 2 years before that. We used to cover a channel called the Frog News Network. And it was a guy named Doug Kuzma who died of COVID, and another guy named Mike Penny who sounds like he's dying of COVID. And they were together, and one night we were covering them, and they announced that it was that the reevaluation had started. The reevaluation had started. Everybody's going to have their money. It kicked off in Portugal. They had like this video that was like 5 years old of like fireworks being launched. They're like, this is it. Get your money, get your Zims and your Iraqi dinar. We're turning it in. We're all going to be rich. So I was talking to chat while I was covering that. I said, you know what we ought to do? Shut this video down, and then I'll come right back with a video, and I'll say, you heard it here, folks, directly from Frog News Network. Nasara Gassara is here, and you guys pretend to be Q-tards and start celebrating it. So people are like, I can't believe it. It just hit my bank account. I'm paying off my mortgage. I'm getting my mom a new truck and blah, blah, med beds. All my fans were cheering. That was what we did like 2 years ago. That video, when I launched that video got 1 million views before YouTube took it down. 1 million views in like 6 days. My best video I've ever made. And I didn't have a disguise on or nothing. They just didn't watch any of my other content. There's Doug. Thank you for visiting us from the afterlife, Doug. Now, not only did I get 1 million views, people stole that video and uploaded it to their channel. And some had like 1.7 million, like 1.3 million. That video probably got, from what I know of people stealing it, that video probably got 5 million views. And that's just the people that I saw stole it and re-uploaded it. So, a year later, I came up with this Nick Swick idea. And I told all my people, this was secret because it's on Patreon. That's where you have to like pay, and I send you the link. It's like extra content. So all my people, all my mods had fake accounts. Mariah had a fake account. Everybody had MAGA accounts. And we went into this Nick Swick, and I started a Telegram page for Nick Swick. And I was like this mysterious guy who was going to Gitmo. Like, I had been called by Trump, and I wouldn't say any names, but I would say I've been called by, like, the top guy, and we're going to this place, and they're going to let me interview and talk about the trials and blah, blah, blah. And I would drop all these little inside jokes to my followers about stuff I made fun of earlier about other people saying, okay? Then people started hounding me, like, how do we support the show? How do we donate? So the idea we came up with was I would take donations through a separate donation link, and I donated that money. Some of it went to people in our community. The plan was just to go to people who were like hard up in our community. But I ended up people reaching out to me that needed help from actually Q-tards. Like, we bought some lady's groceries for a month. We paid some lady's light bill that got kicked off. I helped 2 or 3 people in my community, like a couple $100 here, $100 there from the donations. And that went on, I don't know, that went on for a couple months, I guess. As Nick Swick, I even got so good that I could pre-record the Nick Swick video with a pre-recorded chat. Then I could live stream it and combine that with a live chat while I was live streaming. So it looked like both of them were live at the same time, because some people said, this sounds just like Will Bird. Even though I had a voice changer, some people called it out pretty quick, and I was just banning those people like crazy. So we probably did that for, I don't know, a month or two. It made probably a few $100s. I donated all the money. It was becoming just too much to keep up with, and some people were getting kind of close. Plus, we had a group of people break away at the time that used to like me, but now they don't like me or whatever, and I knew they were going to fucking snitch it out. So what I did was I closed down the old donation link, and I linked it back to my new donation link. So the first person that donated after I switched the donation link, it sent them a receipt that said, thank you for donating, blah, blah, blah. And it said Will Bird down at the bottom. And they thought they had me. But what they didn't know is I had already announced it. Before all this happened, I had already announced I am Nick Swick to everybody. So they thought they had me. They ran to Phil, and they're like, Phil, you're not going to believe this. The guy that calls you out all the time is a grifter. And they ran to all these other people and started freaking out. Anyway, it was a fun experiment, dude. The videos would get like 20, 30,000 views. I would have hundreds of live viewers when it was live. Like, it's so easy. It's so easy to be a right-wing grifter. It's just because they don't question fucking anything, dude. Anything. They just want to throw money at it. The only way that I could see doing the money thing was if I donated. I couldn't come to terms with taking people's money. Then a bunch of people charged me back the donations when they found out that it was me. So they went to PayPal and charged back all the donations, and I just ended up having to pay it out of my own pocket. Right? It was only a few $100s. most people charged it back. Some people are like, well, as long as you, when they would try to charge it back, I would be like, I donated the money to people in need. And a couple people asked me for proof, and I'm like, I'm not giving you somebody's name that I donated money to. So they got their chargebacks. I paid it out of pocket. And then some people are like, as long as you donated, that's fine. I can't believe you got me. But it was really fun. We had a really fun time doing it for a couple months. We ran the YouTube channel. We monitored all the comments to make sure nobody was outing me if they figured it out. We ran a Telegram channel, all on separate accounts, and we were QAnon grifters. And honestly, if I'd have started that from the beginning, I could probably be like in Phil's position right now. Not with underage girls or weird shit like that, but I guarantee I could have a shit ton of money right now. But my dumb ass took the high road, and here we are, broke as fuck, destroyed by a hurricane, not getting any views. So, now you're all caught up. Here we are. Thank you guys for joining us. I'm Will Bird. This is the Cold Break Confessional. That was a rundown of who was Nick Swick, and I guess also our Nasara Gassara video that went viral. Yeah, let's talk about some things. Why? I don't understand why his followers, like I support people, but I won't let them fucking lie to me, okay? Maybe I'm not as mean when I call them out, but I'll at least say, hey, that's not true, right? Listen to Trump. They let him lie over the dumbest shit. I want you to listen to this and think about it. Let me get you some audio.
They were up like tops, but if you remember my first week, I was standing here, Paul, and they were screaming about eggs. The cost of eggs have gone through the roof. They were up like 500, crazy, like 4 or 5 times. And we won't have eggs for Easter, they were saying. There will be no eggs. You can't order eggs. They wanted us to order plastic in the shape of eggs. Well, yesterday we had 48,000 people at the Easter hunt. They call it the Easter roll at the White House. And we had all eggs. And as you know, the cost of eggs has come down like 93, 94% since we took office. And they're pretty much normally priced now. Great job. Our Secretary of Agriculture, Brooke Rollins, did a very good job. But groceries have come down. It's all coming down. The only thing that hasn't come down, but it hasn't gone up much, are interest rates, and we think the Fed should lower the rate. We think that it's a perfect time to lower the rate, and would like to see our chairman be early or on time.
I don't know the numbers. They use 30,000 eggs, okay? But now just think about this. So I generously said, okay, let's say the eggs were $8 a dozen, because that's a pretty high price, and I've heard people say that, okay? Let's say the eggs were $8 a dozen. What does a 94% drop in the price of an $8 carton of eggs make? How much would eggs be? If at their height, they were $8, and we've dropped 94%, what would the price of a dozen eggs be right now? They'd be 48 cents a dozen. Why the fuck? Like, he could pick, if he's going to lie, he could pick any number, right? He could say they're down 30%, they're down 40%, but it has to be the most, it has to be the best, it has to be the highest. If eggs were at $8 a gallon, or $8 a dozen, a gallon, and then he says the price has dropped 94%, that would be 48 cents a dozen. Are you out of your fuck? And nobody even questions it. No one even says anything. No one speaks up. They're just like, oh, yeah, we know it. We know it's dropped 93, 94%.
But if you remember my first week,
it's worse the higher it goes. So
I was standing here, Paul, and they were screaming about eggs. The cost of eggs have gone through the roof. They were up like 500, crazy, like 4 or 5 times. And we won't have eggs for Easter, they were saying. There will be no eggs. You can't order eggs. They wanted us to order plastic.
There are people that said, hey, you know, the price of eggs is extreme. people are struggling to afford groceries. Maybe we should do like, it's not, they wanted us to order eggs made out of plastic. It's a thing. It's called plastic eggs. Most people fucking do it, right? Most people use plastic eggs, put candy in them. Trump couldn't do that. Even if it hurts Americans that are buying groceries and drives the price up even more because the White House bought 30,000 fucking eggs. What the fuck?
The shape of eggs. Well, yesterday we had 48,000 people at the Easter hunt. They call it the Easter roll at the White House.
Yeah, Scott Rogers is still around.
And we had all eggs. And as you know, the cost of eggs has come down like 93, 94% since we took office. And they're pretty much normally priced now. Great job, our Secretary of Agriculture.
They're normally priced. Now, again, everybody in this comment section is sharing this graph. We know what this graph is. We know what this graph is, okay? This is contract for difference. This is not egg price. If this was egg price and you went back in time, then look how cheap eggs were here. They were like 70 cents back when Joe Biden was in office. That never happened. That didn't happen. This is contract for difference. The actual price is here. And the latest data we have is from March because obviously April hasn't ended yet. And they're higher than they've ever been. I'll have to move this so you can see the end of the chart. It's literally higher than it's ever been. It's going off the end of the chart. Maybe it's not going up as fast since January, but it's still higher than it's ever been. The fact that his followers lets him come on and say that it is 93 or 94% decrease in price. The average at the end of March, which was updated April 10th, which means that on May 10th or around there, we'll get the update for April, and maybe they have come down some. No goddamn way. No goddamn way it's 93 or 94%. Everybody would be eating eggs all goddamn day. If they were 50 cents a dozen, people would be eating omelets 3 meals a day. 94%. Stupid motherfucker. You want to see something extremely terrifying? Australian people.
Witnesses are recounting some of the drama that unfolded on the Sunshine Coast this afternoon. Two sisters have told how their mother and man raced to help when the carjacked SUV rolled on Steve Irwin Way, only to find the gun-wielding car thief emerging from the wreck. Here's some of what they had to say.
All right, so a carjacking and then a wreck, and the guy had a gun after the wreck and got out of the car and was around Australian people. I'm assuming he's Australian too, probably.
And one guy, he was up there with our mum, and he went up there, and he was coming back down towards us, and he goes, "Run, he's got a gun." And our heart started to pound, and I said, "Oh, Mum, where's Mum?"
I thought this was AI. Like the news intro was real, and then this part was AI. It's not. And these people are Iran, he's got a gun. These people are famous in Australia.
And poor Mum was stuck up there, but apparently our brave Mum, she goes, "Are you all right?" Because he had
No, they're just twins.
blood all over his face, and he goes, "I'll shoot you." She goes, "Hey, I'm here to help."
And Mum distracted him to make him look the other way, and he looked the other way.
And it's like a thing they do on purpose, I guess, because sometimes you can tell they weren't going to say the exact same thing. One of them's waiting for the other one to start a sentence so the other one could finish it. It's weird.
Right.
It's like when couples are talking and they're like, "We didn't think we'd get along, but now we're finishing each," and the other person's like, "Other sentences."
Ran into the bush behind the fence, and the guy goes to her, "I'll find you and I'll shoot you." All I was thinking about when we were running, I hope he doesn't fire. Yeah, we were so blessed.
How close to him do you think you were?
Well, see, he was up there, and we were past our driveway. Yeah.
You don't think of all of that at the time.
No,
You just run for your
life.
safety.
apparently they were famous and like have been on documentaries of different shows and stuff before. Like the twins that share that are even more twinly than other twins. Wild though, isn't it? Insane. Pretty fucking crazy if you ask me. But whatever. What do I know? Terrifying. Is there a scientific name for this? Freaky deaky twin shit? Talk about corroborating witnesses. Can one shut the fuck up and let the other one talk? Yeah, they're like famous with this. And there's like a video of them when they were younger, and they're like finishing each other's sentences, and they're doing like an interview. I saw that when I was researching it, but and then we got this dumb fuck from Ohio. I don't think anything good comes from Ohio. Just saying. He had no idea that the trophy and the stand were two pieces. So he just breaks the national championship trophy.
Hello.
He panics. Please just set it down. Goddamn. This is the trophy. This is the stand with the inscription and shit on it. Dude, he's the most awkward motherfucker ever. You guys remember him trying to... Hello, is this your donut establishment? I would like some round ones. Thank you. How long you worked here for? I think the trophy could sense that this man in no way, shape, or form is a champion. It's like, ooh, don't touch me. I'm for better people. Look at him. I had to give it to him. And then we have a different angle of this, which is even worse. The second angle is the killer. That's the nail in the coffin here.
Hello. I'm Vice President and Roanoke Colony survivor, JD. I won't vent, so don't ask me. It turns me into a searing hot ball of proudness to present the National Championship Feats Ball trophy to my beloved Ohio State Buckies. Congratulations, you gigantic post-adolescent human males. You
gigantic post-adolescent human males.
You all did an okay good.
Okay, good.
Destroyed it. You broke our trophy just like you broke your promises to the American people.
It's fine. It's fine. You know, nothing that a little can-do attitude and super glue can't fix.
If only super glue could fix who you are as a person. The trophy is a metaphor for our country right now.
Well, much like super glue, the Glothian Mining Consortium will unite us all as servitude becomes our social currency.
Shut the f*** up, you trophy-smashing, dream-demolishing bitch.
Well, now, hold on, guys. I'm still your man, okay?
Oh, the hell you are. You ain't even your wife's man. You replaced her with a chaise lounge, just like you replaced your soul with a check from Peter Thiel.
But MS-13 and women voting and the woke mind virus.
Fumbling your words the way you fumbled that trophy and America's future. You make Elon Musk look cool by comparison. And
He does make Elon Musk look a lot cooler by comparison.
Musk is the absolute worst. You are worse than the absolute worst.
That's not really fair.
Trump said he wouldn't endorse you for 2028. I'm starting to see why.
Hey, babe. Today was not okay good. Ugh. Tell me. I tried to do something nice, and not only did they not say thank you, they were so mean to me. You know what? I agree. Yeah, that trophy was really heavy. And you know what? I think a gang of MS-13 immigrants got to it before I could, just so they could embarrass me.
That makes sense.
You always know how to make me feel better. Wait, really? You think we have time? I don't know. Usha will be home soon with the kids. Well, when you put it that way. Okay. Ooh, a fortune cookie. Wonder what it says. Come on.
Silent judgment.
JD Vance, oh yes, that is my name. What's that name? JD Vance. That's how you say my name. JD Vance. Hello.
He has a whole lore about the Glorthian mining empire. They're coming to he is here to help them harvest people for their mining operations or some shit. It's crazy.
Hello, I'm Vice President at Unleavened Meatloaf. JD, don't look down.
Unleavened meatloaf.
Hello, I'm Vice President at Unleavened Meatloaf. JD, don't look now, but I think someone shit my Vance. It is Easter, and because I am such a good Catholic, I get to meet the leader of all human religion, the Pope. Hi there. I have some bad news. It is okay, good to meet you, Mr. Pope. I have so many questions. No, I'm not the Pope. Question that is first. Was your name always Pope, or did you have to change it when they made you Emperor of Prayer? What? No, What? How long have you worked here? First of all, literally everything you just said is completely wrong. Second of all, I'm not the Pope. I was told I was meeting the Pope, and I have just met you, ergo, you are the Pope. See, that's what I was trying to tell you. His Holiness, what is heaven like? The exact opposite of this conversation. Can you bless the couch in my basement? I'm tired of living in sin. I am not the Pope. What? Unfortunately, His Holiness did not want to meet with you today. He thinks you're a bad Catholic and that you need a serious lesson in compassion.
He did meet with him the next day, but died immediately afterwards.
But I am a good Catholic. I made sure all the right people were getting oppressed, including but not limited to women, immigrants, and trans people. Well, that's kind of the point, Mr. Vice President. You're doing the exact opposite of what Jesus would do. What? Says who? Every single religious teacher, theological expert, and the literal Bible. I don't know what any of those words mean. Yeah, a figure. All I know is Jesus is risen. Right, Mr. Vice President, and in the spirit of Easter, I would be happy to teach. The only rise you need concern yourself with is the rise of the Glothian Mining Consortium's stock margins as they finish mining all the precious minerals from the Earth's crust, mantle, and core. Soon humanity shall also rise to the occasion of becoming mindless automatons whose only mission in life is to mine and eat. All will be unity. All will be joy. All will be servitude. Do you have any eggs on you? Normally the answer to that question is no, but one of your handlers outside gave me this to give to you. Sweet, thank you. Whoa! Buddy, what are you doing? That's
Shell and all.
egg, man, that's wrong! Yeah. It's Easter. You're really weird, man. Agreed. Did they put you up at a hotel? Yeah, the airport Hilton. Is there a couch in your room? A couch? No, I don't think so. Nope, no couch in my room. That was not convincing. I will be commandeering your room key now. Happy Easter, my human friend. Please do not resist.
Why could they not pay you enough to touch the Pope's hand?
What? No, you stay away from me and you stay away from my... Okay, good. JD Vance is my name. If you say JD and Vance, then you have just said my name. JD Vance is what it is, and that name is JD Vance. JD Vance. Hello.
I love his little musical outros. And then we have a hot take from Tosh.0.
You know, you were a dude. Our president, you know, is bad as I think he is.
Daniel Tosh. I still call him Tosh.0.
I do hope he has a healthy 3.5 years of this final term.
Why so?
Well, because, Eddie, I wasn't going to end it at that.
Okay, you got something coming here. All right.
Because heaven help us if Vance were given the keys to the car. I mean, this dipshit is off the charts. Everything you need to know about Vance.
So J.D. Vance has a weird book and movie about him growing up poor and how he turned his back on the Appalachian people, but claims to be like some type of success story. When he was first selected as vice president candidate with Trump, they somebody went through and said, "Oh my God, there's a section in his book where J.D. Vance talks about when he's a kid, he couldn't get a girlfriend, so he'd fuck his couch." And they made like a fake excerpt from the book, but it was satire. It was labeled as satire and shit. And people just started running with it because it pisses him off.
We're given the keys to the car. I mean, this dipshit is off the charts. Everything you need to know about Vance can be summed up in him dropping the national championship trophy.
Makes sense. Even the crowd was like, whoa.
That's just who he is. I'm this dipshit.
And they knew it was like, they didn't just wait for him to pick it up and then he dropped it and people had to jump in. They knew he was going to fuck it up. There was already 2 guys holding the trophy when he tried to pick it up. So because they knew he was going to fuck it.
Shit. Ugh. I mean, this isn't a unique take. I believe everyone hates this man.
I think so, yeah.
His wife hates him. I think Republicans, for the most part, are like, oh, no, he's not our guy. Anybody that read that memoir? Did you read his book?
No.
But you own a copy.
No. Just he had balance out. The bed's kind of like wobbly. It's got a leg.
You got a wobbly bed?
Yeah, you got to put it underneath the leg.
How wobbly?
That's crazy that a memoir could balance out.
Perfect size.
You know what his real name is? James David Vance, JD. I don't like anybody that tries to bumpkin up their name. The only name that I remotely appreciate that's kind of bumpkined up is old cousin Baby Billy. And see, now they're like, hey, how do we mock these stupid people? Well, why don't we call him cousin Baby Billy?
Oh, all right. They did it.
What about JD Vance? Nah, it's too nail on head.
Yeah.
Let's go cousin Baby Billy. Our president, is...
It would be, I do think it would be worse if JD Vance has the reins, so to speak. I do think that would be a lot worse. Although it's not good right now, I think JD Vance would be worse.
Remember the MS-13 gangbanger that the media calls a Maryland dad? Well, he got deported, and now CNN wants him back. We would know, without a shadow of a doubt, we can all put the questions to rest. If this man was in a gang... So I guess these documents from 2019 from the Department of Homeland Security saying he's a part of MS-13 isn't proof enough?
Correct.
True. That wouldn't convict him in court. That does seem to have an influence on his bond hearing. That wouldn't convict him in court, though.
These documents are in no way proof enough for that. And when we say proof enough, what we mean is proof enough to hold a guy in a foreign prison beyond the reach of our law indefinitely, maybe for life. The documents do say that Garcia is a member of MS-13, but how did they know? Under the subject gang validation, it says Abrego Garcia was validated as a member of the MS-13 gang. This information was provided by Redacted, who has provided truthful, accurate information in the past. So the gang validation is that the police say some guy told them that Garcia was in MS-13. Who is this guy? Don't know. How does the guy know that Garcia is a member of MS-13? Don't know that either. How reliable is this guy? Well, the police claim that he's provided truthful, accurate information in the past, so presumably
at least once.
One or more times. But has the guy ever provided inaccurate information or information that turned out to be wrong? We don't know that either. We don't know what the informant's batting average is, so to speak. The police are claiming he's got at least one hit, one time in the past, but we don't know how many times he's swung and missed. We don't know if he's ever been wrong or how often he's wrong or anything like that. So is this enough information to...
This is the same people that you couldn't trust anything from the police force, intelligence agencies, CISA, anybody that had anything to do with January 6th, couldn't trust any of that. And now they're like, look, this one informant from Maryland said he's a gang member.
To send a guy to prison for life? I don't think so.
That's the man you guys are dying on a hill for. It's just absolutely disgusting how far you guys will go to defend this criminal.
In the part of his video I skipped over, he points out that Garcia's wife accused Garcia of domestic violence on multiple occasions. And so now he's saying, oh, how horrible. How could you support this MS-13 gang member wife beater? And what I would ask of this guy or people like him is to just consider what you are asking for the federal government to be able to do here. That is, Garcia was arrested without a warrant. He was sent to a foreign prison against judges' orders. He didn't have a trial. He didn't have a lawyer. He doesn't have any kind of legal process to contest his indefinite incarceration or present evidence in his own defense. So you're saying that the federal government should get to imprison people for life?
Would hillbilly elegy be banned under? Probably. You know, he got certain privileges because he was a veteran. He got certain privileges because the area he came from, low income. He got certain privileges using his mom, you know, his upbringing. Probably banned under DEI.
Without charges, without a lawyer, without a trial, without legal recourse or the ability to present your own defense. And even if the government admits it made a mistake, the government doesn't have to correct it because the incarceration is done in a foreign prison beyond the reach of our laws. And I want to, submit to you that maybe that's actually not such a good idea. Maybe there's the potential for serious abuse there. And even if you say, hey, we only think the government should have this power against illegal...
I would say that's the only reason he got into Yale. Now, are they going to officially ban it? I don't know. But I would say that his socioeconomic diversity quota at Yale got him in for being a veteran and being a poor, dumb hillbilly.
Immigrants. The fact that you don't get to present a defense and the government doesn't have to correct itself even when it's wrong means that in practice, what you're saying is that the federal government should be able to do this to citizens as well. Because how will you prove you're a citizen if you don't have access to a lawyer or a court?
Exactly. Who are you going to yell it to? You can scream it all day to a fucking immigration agent. You think they haven't heard I'm a citizen before? You can't deport me. I'm a citizen. So what's wrong with the dumb Trump supporters is they don't realize being from an extremely poor and rural area is one of the qualifications to get a hand up, to get extra help, right? Being the first person from your family to go to college is one of the qualifications.
Or a trial to show the evidence that you're a citizen. Or if you're taken away to El Salvador and the government doesn't have to correct mistakes it's made, even if it becomes known that you are a citizen imprisoned in El Salvador, the government apparently doesn't have to correct mistakes it's made. So this is just a very foolish and I would say obscene and anti-American.
What they're arguing for is, let's say through some crazy circumstance, you, an American citizen, accidentally got rounded up and shipped out in the middle of the night to El Salvador. What they're arguing for is that even the president of the United States can't take action to bring you back. You're just fucked forever.
American power that people like this guy are advocating we give to Trump. And finally, on the subject of domestic violence, I want to say I'm very moved by this guy's outrage over domestic violence. He says Garcia's wife accused Garcia of domestic violence. And how could you dare defend Garcia after these accusations? So I think that's very moving. And I'm looking forward to reviewing his catalog of content to watch the similar videos he's made about Donald Trump, for example, who was accused by his ex-wife of raping her. So I'm sure he's got a lot of videos critical of Trump and people who support Trump, who's been credibly accused on dozens of occasions.
Oh, of course. Nope.
I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Not at all. Ever. Nope. It's just this one. JD Vance is the type of person that has 10 people help him bring over a ladder so he can climb to the top of the wall. And then he gets to the top and kicks the fucking ladder over and says, fuck you guys. Right? That's it. He's out. Tim Pool. Man of the hour, man of the day, I guess. Tim Pool got invited to the extra secret special chair at the White House press conference. The press briefing for alternative media, friends of Trump media. And I would like to do my best impression of the one he gets to ask, whoever's in that chair gets to ask the very first question of the entire press conference. And here is my impression of Tim Pool's question. Just gagging on Trump's dick. That was the whole thing. Check it out.
That are represented in this room. Many of the news organizations that are represented in this room.
All right, so let's break it down because he's going to try to go through this. Many of the organizations that are represented in this room, what does he mean? News agencies. Regular news agencies. That's where we start.
Have marched in lockstep on false narratives such as the Very Fine People hoax, the Covington smear, and now what's being called the Maryland Man hoax.
So many of the news agencies in this room have all lied against Trump, saying that he said many fine people on both sides, or jumped against the Covington smiling kids, or now this Maryland man, but he's really a wife-beating gangbanger with brown skin who deserves to die. Off to a good start.
Where an MS-13 gang member adjudicated by two different judges, I believe, is just simply being referred to as a Maryland man.
Adjudicated means bond hearing.
Over and over again. Now, in an effort from the White House to expand access to new companies,
So, in effort for the White House to bring in people that agree with us, that have large followings online, is what he means by bringing in new media.
Created this new media seat. So I'm wondering if you can comment on, following this expansion, you've had numerous outlets disparage the companies that you've had sit here, as well as the reporters. I'm wondering if you can comment on the unprofessional behavior as well.
Okay. So you bringing on podcasters that you handpick that only agree with you and putting them in this very seat. Many of the media had said, what the fuck? This used to be just like top media. Now you're handpicking podcasters who lick your fucking taint, as long as they have a big enough following and they lick deep enough. Then giving them special privileges to ask questions. And the media is like, that's not right. Why would they bring in their own dick lickers to ask these softball fucking questions? I wonder if you could comment about how mean the media has been to us.
The companies that you've had sit here, as well as the reporters. I'm wondering if you could comment on the unprofessional behavior, as well as elaborate if there's any plans to expand access to new companies.
Sure.
Okay, now I'll let you hear the question. So basically he says, media bad, they all lie about Trump. Now you're bringing in new media who you handpick because we suck dick hard enough for you and have enough following while we suck dick hard enough for you. I was paid by the Russians. Can you talk about how the media is going to be mean to me? And also, do you plan on bringing any of my friends here? Here we go.
Many of the news organizations that are represented in this room have marched in lockstep on false narratives, such as the Very Fine People hoax, the Covington smear, and now what's being called the Maryland Man hoax, where an MS-13 gang member adjudicated by two different judges, I believe, is just simply being referred to as a Maryland man over and over again. Now, in an effort from the White House to expand access to new companies, you've created this new media seat. So I'm wondering if you can comment on, following this expansion, you've had numerous outlets disparage the companies that you've had sit here, as well as the reporters. I'm wondering if you can comment on the unprofessional behavior, as well as elaborate if there's any plans to expand access to new companies.
Sure. Well, we certainly welcome diverse viewpoints in this room, which is one of the
many of the news organizations that are represented.
What a fucking cock-sucking fucking answer, dude. Like he could have asked anything in the world. He's been bitching, personally been bitching about the Epstein files and why they still haven't been released. And why they're making it a fucking joke and just ignoring it now, right? And his question was, a lot of the media lies about our God Emperor. I would never lie about our God Emperor. That's why I'm in this chair. But they're going to be mean to me because I'm in this chair. Can you please talk about how they're going to be mean to me and how that's wrong? He also went on a complete fucking tirade, right, about how Zelensky dressed. Look how this motherfucker dressed. This is the only guy that's ever shown up to the goddamn White House in this stupid fucking black beanie now multiple times. Even when he puts on a sports jacket, he still shows up in his black beanie multiple fucking times. This is the first time he got to meet Trump in the White House on the left. This is at Mar-a-Lago on the right. This is a guy that had something to say about how, for weeks, about how Zelensky was disrespectful. Yes, we've covered that thousands of times, why he wears the beanie. He claims it's so when he takes it off that Antifa doesn't know who he is. But really it's just because he's going bald. He had a whole bitch fit because someone pulled it off his head one time on camera. He yelled at the guy and said, "Do you know why I do this? Because when you take off my beanie, you're exposing who I really am. And these people want to show up in my house and kill me. I can't believe you. Don't ever touch me again."
So how do you get so many liberal scumbags in one place all together? It's amazing.
We're actually fighting for saving democracy.
Back the fuck up away from me. Back the fuck up.
We're actually chill, man. We're here for just saving democracy.
What the fuck was that, dude? He flipped out quick, didn't he?
How do you get so many liberal scumbags in one place all together? It's amazing.
We're actually fighting for saving democracy.
Back the fuck up away from me. Back the fuck up.
We're actually chill, man. We're here for just saving democracy.
Damn, he got mad quick, didn't he? It was wild.
How do you get so many liberals?
Yes, Tim Pool is a cocksucking Trump. I mean, I don't know what else to say. That's what he does. DC Drano sharing this clip and praising it.
What do you do when your own intelligence apparatus around the president is trying to undercut him so he has no standing in the court when he does exactly what you say he has to do, which is suspend habeas corpus and start rolling him out of here, brother?
Well,
did you hear that? Suspend habeas corpus and start rolling them out of here. Trump tried to say in his post the other day that there's no way we could give them all a court appearance. It would take too much time. J.D. Vance said the same thing. And now the idea is to suspend habeas corpus. Which is literally, habeas corpus directs someone that's holding somebody in detention to bring them before the court. Bring them before the court. They have a day to appear in front of the court. The actual definition or the actual translation of it is you shall have your own body or something like that, right? You're entitled to your own body, to have your own body. And to have that body brought, and somebody can't illegally detain you, can't hold you without charging you, without letting you see a judge. They just want it suspended. Fuck it.
Do when your own intelligence apparatus around the president is trying to undercut him so he has no standing in the court when he does exactly what you say he has to do, which is suspend habeas corpus and start rolling him out of here, brother?
Well, is that the same deep state that indicted him 4 times? We don't care what they say, okay? We have common sense. We watched our country be invaded for 4 years by 10 to 15 million illegal aliens, many of them men of fighting age, okay? And when I say suspend the writ, not only is this a constitutional power in Article 1, Section 9, but we're not even suspending it for American citizens, okay? There's none of that. These are illegal aliens. They do not have a right to be here. They get deported. If the courts want to stop us, we go around the courts by using constitutional authority to do so. And the president who used this the most is the Democrats' favorite president of all time, FDR. Okay? FDR used it, Abraham Lincoln used it, and Ulysses S. Grant used it. And you know what? They're all their faces are on our money. Okay? They ended up being pretty good looking in historical hindsight. And Trump has the chance to do that. We have to normalize this. You cannot allow 20 million illegal aliens to invade our country and allow them to stay. This is an invasion. That is what an invasion is. Time to start taking drastic action. I understand what President Trump is doing.
When we look back on FDR suspending habeas corpus after the Pearl Harbor attack and rounding up a ton of Japanese and some German people and putting them in detention camps. Do we look back at that fondly and say, oh, yeah, that was a good idea? Because everybody I've ever talked to about it looks back at it on like, at best case scenario, like, that's horrible, but we may have had to have done it. But most people are like, that's horrible. These were just Japanese fucking people living here that had nothing to do. They weren't like fucking backpack bombers or some shit.
The Democrats' favorite president of all time, FDR, okay? FDR used it, Abraham Lincoln used it, and Ulysses S. Grant used it. And you know what? They're all their faces are on our money, okay? They ended up being pretty good looking in historical hindsight, and Trump has the chance to do that. We have to normalize this. You cannot allow 20 million illegal aliens to invade our country and allow them to stay. This is an invasion. That is what an invasion is. Time to start taking drastic action. I understand what President Trump is doing. He's going through the process. He's exposing that Democrat Marxist judges are going to stop him every step of the way. At a certain point, I feel he's going to have no decision but to do this. And you know what?
They're cheering it on. They're literally cheering it on. Go the fuck around the courts. Fuck the courts. What are they going to do? Show up with an army?
He stands strong and he does it. He'll win in a landslide in the midterms because this is what Americans want on both sides of the aisle.
That's not true. So two things that are doing really poorly. Here's the problem with looking at polling. You have to look at them separately, okay? Two things that Trump does really bad on polling and independents. With independents, his cult is going to do whatever he says. But with independents is his tariffs and this whole debacle of just deporting people in the middle of the fucking night. Some of them mistakenly, okay? Now, you also have people saying that Democrats polling is at like record lows. And it is, technically. The reason it is because some people are just like, you know, I voted for Trump, so I want Trump to succeed. Other people are like, holy fuck, why aren't the Democrats stopping anybody? Why aren't they standing up? Why aren't they standing up to Trump? Why aren't they stopping this? Why aren't they stopping that? So it's not just like people agree with Trump. The Democrats are getting low polling overwhelmingly because their followers think they're not standing up to Trump enough. They're not doing enough. Not like, I kind of like Trump's tariff and destroying the economy. That's just not true. But that's the way they'll spin it to you. They'll say, oh, you think Trump's doing a bad job? Well, apparently America likes it because the Democrats' numbers are super low. No. We want them to stop him. That's why they're super fucking low. We want them to do more. Go around the courts. Fuck it. Who cares? What's the difference? Oh, God. Colorado judge uses Supreme Court order to block Trump admin deportations. Colorado federal judge has extended a temporary restraining order barring the Trump administration from deporting immigrants under the Alien Enemies Act. Since January 20th inauguration, President Donald Trump has implemented sweeping change mainly through executive orders. He has has prioritized immigration as a key pillar within the administration. Trump last month utilized the Alien Enemies Act of 1798, a wartime law that grants the commander-in-chief authority to detain or deport non-citizens. The implementation was originally blocked by a federal court and sparked contentious legal back and forth. In Tuesday, Denver's U.S. District Court Judge Charlotte Sweeney granted the temporary restraining order against the Trump administration, valid until May 6. Sweeney mentions an overnight ruling by the Supreme Court on Saturday that blocked a group of Venezuelan immigrants in North Texas from being deported under the act. The Supreme Court recently directed the government not to remove any member of the putative class of detainees from the United States until further order from the Supreme Court. Sweeney's order read in part. Sweeney also noted that regardless, the court is once again bound by the Supreme Court's recent decisions addressing precisely the legal and factual issues this case poses. In the Saturday order, the Supreme Court ruled that Venezuelans being held in the Blue Bonnet Detention Center in North Texas temporarily cannot be deported under 1798 Wartime Act, the Associated Press reported. Supreme Court Justices Samuel Alito and Clarence Thomas dissented from their colleagues, saying in part, in sum, literally, in the middle of the night, the court issued an unprecedented and legally questionable relief without giving the lower courts a chance to rule because they were going to deport them that night, or at least they got notifications they were going to be deported within 24 hours. And dubious factual support for its order and without providing an explanation for its order. Trump posted to Truth Social Monday, I'm doing what I was elected to do, remove criminals from our country, but the courts don't seem to want me to do that. Trump continued, my team is fantastic, doing an incredible job. However, they are being stymied at every turn by even the U.S. Supreme Court, which I have such great respect for, but which seemingly doesn't want me to send violent criminals and terrorists back to Venezuela or any other country, for that matter, people that came here illegally. Concluding, Trump said, the courts are intimidated by the radical left who are playing the ref. Great Supreme Court Justice Samuel Alito correctly wants to dissolve the pause on deportations. He is right on this. If we don't get these criminals out of our country, we are not going to have a country any longer. We cannot give everyone a trial because to do so would take, without exaggeration, 200 years. We would need hundreds of thousands of trials for hundreds of thousands of illegals we are sending out of the country. Such a thing is not possible to do. What a ridiculous situation we are in. Make America great again. Sweeney wrote in her order that the court may, in its discretion or at the urging of the parties, extend the terms of the temporary restraining order by good cause shown. The first non-D.C. judge to rule that the Alien Enemies Act is likely not applicable to Tren de Aragua and rules that the Trump administration may not apply it to anyone in Colorado without 21 days' notice and an opportunity to file a lawsuit. It makes sense, I guess. Fucking idiots. Dude, all he has to... He can still deport people through the system we had before. Some people already have deportation orders, and they're ready to fucking go. The problem is when he just starts arbitrarily rounding up people from a certain country and saying, well, you're a gang member, terrorist, illegal alien, and we're going to take you in the middle of the night to a country you're not even allowed to go to. Or people completely without criminal records who had justification to be here and working under work orders. I don't think he's going after the right people. Huh. I don't know. I don't know how to get it through to his followers either. They fucking love it.
First of all, not a cult. Second of all, here's an email that Team Trump sent to all of MAGA today. You have 3 missed messages. So it says, are your notifications turned?
So this is, again, not a cult, but listen to this email they're sending out to everybody that was signed up for Trump's newsletter.
Team Trump sent to...
These motherfuckers are still claiming that the January 6 people didn't get due process. I saw one post today claiming that they had a 100% prosecution rate, which is obviously not true, but they didn't get any due process. How the fuck do you have a prosecution rate without due process? Or they didn't get a speedy trial. Yeah, almost every one of them waived their right to a speedy trial because they wanted some fucking crazy defense to put up.
All of MAGA today. You have 3 missed messages. So it says, are your notifications turned off? Trump Jr. and J.D. Vance reached out to you and you haven't responded. So now, Toronto Dump himself requested that we make a final email.
So they claim that J.D. Vance and Jr. reach out to you, but you didn't respond. So now for the last time, I used to get these emails all the time. They would say shit like, are you sure you're a mega Trump supporter? Because we issued an email out to all of the mega Trump supporters, the guys that we go to when we're in the thick of it, and we really need that support. But you didn't respond. Please fill out this information, blah, 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 whatever, so we know that you're still on our team. I would love to go to President Trump right now and tell him that you, insert name here, have signed up and are ready to fight for him.
request because he loves you so much.
It literally says that. Now President Trump requested that we make a final email request because he loves you so much. And old ladies get off on this shit.
Not a cult. Karen, this is your last chance to take the official MAGA census before we shut it down to finalize our internal records. The urgency of it, not a cult. Finish it by midnight and we'll let everybody know that you completed it.
Finish it by midnight and we'll let President Trump, Donald Trump Jr., and J.D. Vance know that you completed it.
They say there's a reason we're reaching out to you over everyone else in your hometown, making somebody feel special, not a cult.
They're trying to protect it like they're in your town. You're the only person we're reaching out to, and you're leaving us on red, Karen.
False humility. Reaching out directly to grassroots leaders is expensive, so we can only afford to reach out to Donald Trump's most reliable supporters.
Then they make just a lie. It's expensive, so we're only reaching out to the top supporters, and we know that's you, right? Right?
Have they heard of MailChimp? Like, sending an email is not expensive. They say that's why your special me response will be used to represent every one of your friends and neighbors. This is important.
Now, the only people they're fooling are like the brainwashed, the mentally ill, and the elderly. But still, this is dirty, right?
But we can only afford, again, to keep your personal link live until 11:59 p.m. That's why I need you to follow this link.
And this sense of urgency. This is a sense of urgency is a sales tactic, right? Like, oh, you better buy it. Somebody else will come and buy it. I don't know if we'll get one on a lot like that again. Or in that color, they're in high demand. They're going fast, man. We might want to do it now.
SAP and respond to Donald Trump. Urgent, urgent, urgent. So the survey itself just asks kind of stupid.
Do the majority of your political beliefs align with those of the people in your state? Yes or no? Do the majority of your people beliefs align with those of your family? Have you participated in any electoral general election in the past 4 years?
Questions. This is my favorite.
How do you currently politically identify? America First conservative, moderates, insane radical liberal, or prefer not to answer? Should illegal aliens be banned from voting in American elections? Should ID be required when voting in elections?
How do you currently politically identify? I'm always insane radical liberal. And the funnest part about this urgent message that you
Is there anything you would like to share with President Trump?
have to submit before the deadline, because they can only afford to send emails out to certain people.
Here's the catch.
To keep a link live until 11:59 is that you can't submit it.
Would you like to make a personal sacrifice today to support President Trump's efforts to stop the radical left's agenda and protect our nation? You can't, even when they fool you and you think you're doing something special and you're somebody special and they need your answers and it's time sensitive and you're speaking for everybody in your town, you're the only one picked, you can't even submit. You cannot submit this without making a donation. You cannot submit this survey without a donation.
The answers to these stupid, irrelevant questions you can't submit unless you make a donation to the Trump campaign.
If you don't make a donation, it just sits right here. You can't even submit them.
And he's not campaigning for anything. First of all,
what the fuck could he possibly be raising money for? He has the entire U.S. budget at his discretion. He's been in office for months. What is he raising money for still? I love these right here. Check this out. It's always the right claiming that all the people trying to kill your kids, destroy your kids, trans your kids, sex your kids, fuck your kids is everybody on the left, except when you look at any statistics ever.
There's a lawyer that's been documenting every single...
I told Itsuko we watched a documentary about her homeland. I already told her. You missed it.
There's a lawyer that's been documenting every single child SA arrest over the past couple of years to get accurate statistics. She encourages anybody to find any that she's missed to which no one's been able to. You want to look at that data with me? Out of almost 11,000 offenders, 846 were religious, 578 were religious ordained. One drag queen.
One drag queen. Out of 11,000 offenders, almost 11,000 offenders, one drag queen.
5 trans people.
5 trans people.
All the politicians arrested, almost 70% were Republican.
70% of the 11,000 were Republican.
90% of the 10 highest number of offenders per capita are Republican states.
Ooh.
100% of the lowest number of offenders per capita are Democratic states.
Oh.
60% of the 10 highest number of offenders per capita are the most religious states, and 90% of the lowest number of offenders per capita are the least religious states. But that's not all, because child marriage is actually legal in 38 states in this country and has been kept in place solely by Republicans. Almost every child marriage performed in this country is from a religious background. In fact, there's a Republican Senator, Mike Moon, on video being asked, "You voted not to change forcing 12-year-olds to marry their abusers." And his response was, "Do you know any 12-year-olds that have been married? I do, and they're still married to this day." There's a lawyer that's been documenting.
So the Republican politician, when asked about having 12-year-olds marry their abusers, says, Have you seen a 12-year-old that gets married? They're still married to this day. Look out. They have them long marriages, if you know what I mean. And just so I can set the narrative that we're not all crazy, we're not all crazy. We're not crazy. Okay? Even if you used to be conservative, you're not crazy. Because this is how conservatives used to talk about immigrants.
The problem with the immigration debate is that one can create a lot of fear. They're coming after you. But it's a nation that is willing to accept the refugee or the harmed or the frightened. To me, is a great nation, and we are a great nation. Please put aside all the harsh rhetoric about immigration. Please put aside trying to score political points on either side. I hope I can help set a tone that is more respectful about the immigrant, which may lead to reform of the system.
We're doing two things. We're creating a whole society of really honorable, decent, family-loving people that are in violation of the law, and secondly, we're exacerbating relations with Mexico. But I don't want to see a whole, if they're living here, I don't want to see a whole, thinking 6- and 8-year-old kids being made, one, totally uneducated and made to feel that they're living with outside the law. Let's address ourselves to the fundamentals. These are good people, strong people. Part of my family is a Mexican. We're talking about putting up a fence. Why don't we work out some recognition of our mutual problems, make it possible for them to come here legally with a work permit, and then while they're working and earning here, they pay taxes here. And when they go on to go
This is how we used to talk about immigration.
back, they can go back and they can cross and open the border both ways by understanding their problems. This is the only safety valve right now they have with that unemployment that probably keeps the lid from blowing off down there.
The problem with the immigration.
Or that famous one that was like John McCain talking about Obama, and the woman's like, "I heard that he's a Muslim terrorist," and he like jerks the microphone, and he's like, "No. He's a good guy. He's a Christian. He was born here. We just disagree politically, but you're not gonna talk about him like this. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's fucking insane, dude."
I did not kill the Pope. It was way more nuanced than that. I was telling the Pope about how Digimon, digital monsters, had gotten too erotic. And then he interrupted me about some Bible stuff, about how the meek shall inherit the earth or whatever. That is not in the Trump Bible. So to be polite, I changed the subject. So I said, can you believe the pores don't thank me more? And then he said something about a camel fitting through a rich guy's pee hole. I said, language, being easier than getting into heaven. And then I said, you know who I think would make a good next pope? That guy, the pickup artist. He's already wearing that gay hat. Plus he does this really cool thing called negging, where you tell a lady her butt stinks until she marries you. Then he said, Mamma Mia, and they gave me the silent treatment. And then he died to make me look bad. If the Pope hates you, are you a bad guy? I did not.
That was very good. I want to watch it again.
It's way more nuanced than that. I was telling the Pope about how Digimon, digital monsters, had gotten too erotic. And then he interrupted me about some Bible stuff, about how the meek shall inherit the earth or whatever. That is not in the Trump Bible. So to be polite, I changed the subject. So I said, can you believe the pores don't thank me more? And then he said something about a camel fitting through a rich guy's pee hole. I said, language, being easier than getting into heaven. And then I said, you know who I think would make a good next pope? That guy, the pickup artist. He's already wearing that gay hat. Plus he does this really cool thing called negging, where you tell a lady her butt stinks until she marries you. Then he said, Mamma Mia, and then gave me the silent treatment. And then he died to make me look bad.
To make me look bad.
If the Pope hates you, are you a bad guy?
A little bit.
I did not. Of course, this is how this stupid-ass Biden presidency ends. With him being like, oh, someone should have done something about this oligarchy forming. Dog, you were president. God forbid you use any executive power at all. They gave you immunity. Has any president ever been less aware that they were president? Oh, shucks, this ceasefire deal sure could happen, but then I'd have to make a strongly worded suggestion. Oh, shucks, I sure hate global warming, but my hand keeps signing these.
That's pretty funny.
That approve offshore drilling. Man, grocery prices are high. Someone should do something about it. If only there were some guy in charge of the whole country who was in charge of that, who was supposed to make laws and stuff. They made.
I think that no matter how Biden, Harris tried to present the economy, people have this, we've talked about it before. People romance memories and how good things were before, right? You look back fondly on different times. No matter how you presented the economy, that inflation's down, unemployment's down, wages were up, the stock market was up. No matter how you present it, people want to think about pre-COVID because that was the last major event we had. And pre-COVID, things were pretty fucking good before the entire goddamn world and its logistics broke, right? Pre-COVID, things were good. And it just so happened that the last president we had that was pre-COVID was Trump. So people put those two things together, even though they had nothing to do with Trump.
Made people's lives better. I can't believe there's not a guy like that. What? Biden will go down as a huge failure.
This is an old video, by the way. I just saw it for the first time.
Ignoring some of the easiest stuff he could have done. This whole class of Democrats needs to get out of here. If you had anything to do with the last 8 years of the Democratic Party, get out of here. Go work for ExxonMobil. You creepy losers. That's going to be a weird last TikTok. If you want to watch me slowly degrade with anger at the American empire, follow
Sam Wiles. He's pretty funny. He calls out both sides. I guess that proves that.
Hey, Elon. I'll admit, I was skeptical of your role in the government. I thought you'd bought your way into the White House, and you were using your position to make yourself wealthier. I thought if you were actually looking for fraud, that you'd skip Social Security and just go straight to our $1 trillion military budget, which has never passed an audit. But now, I've changed my mind. Elon, don't give up.
Listen, they did audit the DOD. They removed all the helpful companies that were doing presentations and woke stuff like that.
I hear they're trying to take away your position in the White House just because you've proven to be unpopular with nearly every American. Sounds like somebody's gone woke. Don't let them take this from you. Doge is your thing. It'd be like taking Playboy from Hugh Hefner. They can't keep the government without you. You're the special sauce. You're built.
I had to speed it up because of music.
I know if I'd been responsible for this.
The left wanted to make comedy illegal, you can't make fun of anything. So there's like, comedy sucks. It's like, nothing's funny. You can't make fun of anything. It's like, legalize comedy.
The most nauseating and boring audio of all time. I'd throw in the towel. I'd simply drive my Tesla at medium speed into a shopping cart and let the fire take me. But not you. You gotta keep chugging, buddy. In fact, you should tour the states where the woke mind virus is the worst. Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Nevada specifically. Tour those.
You know that the last time that Elon Musk was on Joe Rogan, that he told Joe Rogan that when he joined, the reason he's called a founder of Tesla is because when he joined Tesla, they didn't even have a fucking prototype yet. And I want to remind you, the only truck or the only vehicle that was made completely under Elon Musk being in charge is the one that's being recalled across the entire fucking world because they glued on the trim panels and they're all falling off. The Cybertruck.
Those states for at least 2 to 4 years. Keep spreading your special brand of epic, anti-woke charisma. Keep talking about how people shouldn't get the benefits that they paid into. Whatever you got to do, don't let them do it.
Don't let them take you out, Elon.
I was skeptical.
You're in there to win. In there to win it, brother.
Y'all got me kicked out of the group chat by making a big deal out of this. Now no one wants me in their chat. Thanks a lot. You journalists and liberals had to make a big deal out of Mike Walls accidentally adding somebody to the group chat like you've never made a mistake. Whom among us has not accidentally texted their wife you up when you meant to text it to your local deacon? I can't believe I got kicked.
You meant to text your local deacon.
Kicked out of Houthi PC small group. That was one of the good ones. We were being so funny talking about bombing people. Now I'm gonna miss all the memes that Hegseth sends when he's feeling randy. Here's some other group chats I got kicked out of, thanks to you guys. Good places to start war, staff only. White.
Good places to start war, staff only. White b-ball.
Basketball highlights, GC. The vagina, theories. Small group. Is it the vagina? Small group. NatSec AMC Stubbs chat. Un-PC stand-up clips, parentheses, no swearing. Un-PC stand-up clips, parentheses, racial. Inspiring quotes, parentheses, Christian male. WH staff birthdays. Thanks a lot. Now I'll have to send my prayers for victory through the phone. Y'all got me.
He's very funny.
Hi there. I'm Dr. Richard Mendenhall, personal physician to Health Secretary RFK Jr. I advised him to start his day by gargling a little bit of fire. Because the primary goal of the Trump administration is to get their buddies in on the grift, that's why I'm talking to you right now. I present to you the RFK Jr. School of Medicine online. Finally, anyone can be a doctor from the sanctity of their own laptop computer. Have you ever been to the doctor and thought, I should be the doctor, if it weren't for all the Jupit stoops I have to jump through? Well, now you can, with the RFK Jr. Medical School online. You'll learn a thing like measles good, or poop in the water supply good, or the drinking fish tank cleaner is natural, but antidepressants will harm the self's own body, or what meat is the healthiest, and which parts of the animal you can use for sex. Liberal elites will tell you that doctors need medical degrees.
It said which hole?
Simply not true. What doctors need is cool ideas and zero government oversight. Zero. Zilch. None. No regulation. Sign up today for your 9-week course to be a doctor. You'll get a special gift. A whole bag full of unlabeled essential oils and a Bic lighter that would fit in a baby's hand. You don't believe that I would be a good doctor? Ask one of my other patients. Hi there.
He's pretty funny.
Quick. For all the people who are always in my comments, like, what are the Democrats supposed to do? They're just little guys. Not this. They're not supposed to do this. But what about the rules? What about the rules? This is within the rules. This is literally something a minority party can stop. Schumer is whipping votes for the bill. If you're defending the current Democrats now, what are you defending? They're trying to push through the Doge bill because their corporate overlords like it. There is no difference. There is no difference in parties if they are voting for the same thing. This is what you get if you never oppose your own party. A guy who is not afraid of you. This is why it's important to be mean to the people in charge. There are also people on Twitter being like, the Democrats don't owe you anything. What? They're not Lauryn Hill. They're not Rick Moranis. They owe you stuff. They owe all of us stuff. They are public servants. Be mean to them. Real quick, for all the people who are always in my comments, like, what? The current administration is teetering on the brink of authoritarianism. It's more important than ever that we fight back with everything we've got. That's why I'm putting together a coalition of real working people, black, white, gay, straight, educators, scientists, and students, all vital parts of this once great nation. And of course, the crypto lobby. What was that last thing?
What?
We're going to form a coalition. After that.
What'd you say?
Black, white, gay, straight. After that. Oh, right. All parts of this great nation. And our friends in the crypto space. And the weapons manufacturers. Real working people, black, white, gay, straight, educators, scientists, students, the crypto lobby, weapons manufacturers, and the oil and gas industry. We can't forget the hardworking gay black guys or whatever, but also especially not the oil and gas industry and Big Pharma. Isn't this why Democrats are completely ineffective? What could you possibly mean? The Democrats claim to be the party of the working class, but they almost exclusively cater to the kind of special interests that totally fuck over the working class. I am offended, quite frankly. Okay, listen. If I don't cater to Big Pharma, Big Oil, weapons manufacturers, or Silicon Valley, how else am I supposed to get rich? I had a lot of ideas for apps, but they thought of all the good apps already. I thought of
Tesla.
2005. It was called Food Bringer. They bring you your food. In 2005. I am now calling for a rejection of the extreme left. The current administration.
He's pretty good. Vote Sam Wiles. Sam Wiles on TikTok. Vote Sam Wiles. I've got some. I don't know how to say this politely. It's something for you to add to your spank bank. Okay, ladies? Put on your rubber underwear. It's fixing to get damp. Okay? It's fixing to get swarmy. Swamp-like. Would that be a good one? Do what you can. Okay? It's pretty good.
Let's go ahead and slide this out if we can. And we got everything on it. It's basically just Doritos with melted cheese, jalapenos, tomatoes, onions, chicken, and a thing of guacamole. God, this is longer than my wingspan. Actually smells really good too. Ooh, look at this. Let's go and get one. And we got the Chipotle ranch sauce too. Some guacamole.
My eyes already moist. Damn it.
And for $5, that's actually not bad.
$5 nachos is what I was talking about.
Nachos from Subway.
$5 nachos is what I was talking about. What did you guys think it was? Did you guys think I was saying something else? I was just talking about $5 nachos Yeah, $5 nachos. God damn it. I'm not logged in right now. To say you can push the past away. Wish you would step back from that ledge, my friend.
I'm going to recreate it for any new followers and how I brush my teeth with no hands. So the first thing I do is I use a tongue scraper, scrape my tongue a couple times, rinse it a couple more times. So I'm not going to show you a video on how I scrape my tongue, but I'm going to show you how I hold it like this, and I just scrape. And the reason I'm not showing it is because it might be disgusting to some people.
One good thing when the dollar is weaker. What a bitch, dude. What a bitch. Atsuko's just enjoying her superhero life over in 2040 living in fucking downtown Japan. Talk about how weak the goddamn dollar is.
All right, for teeth brushing, toothbrush goes in the left wing, toothpaste right wing, and open up the cap like this.
Wing it.
Just a little bit.
I'm fascinated.
And then I switch wings.
Atsuko's living in the future where she doesn't have to worry about the fucking Mandarin Mussolini.
Because the right wing is my dominant wing.
Whatever blows your goat, Atsuko, I guess.
This one right here. And hold it like this and go to town. Sorry if I sound like this and look like this. I just woke up.
He's pretty good at it. Better than I thought it was going to be honest with you.
A couple of chicken bacon ranch wraps.
Kind of fascinating watching.
And a cold Sprite.
I love when he smacks things with his little finger digit. When he smacks it, that's my favorite. He streams. See how he smacks it? Get it. I'll send you his link, Mariah. I know you're into it. Oh, you smack it. Smack it, yeah. That could be you, ladies. Men, I don't know. I got another one. This is a little bit longer.
Ranch wraps.
Person's word over a white person's word.
On June 6, 2022, officers were dispatched to Kroger following reports of a woman behaving disorderly toward staff and customers.
You know what Mariah's fetish is? When Mariah's fetish is when things crawl at her unnaturally. Like maybe they're bent weird, or they're crawling way too fast, or they're on the ceiling, or they're missing an appendage, something. When things crawl at Mariah unnaturally, if you can find any videos of like things crawling unnaturally fast, in an unnatural manner, send those to Mariah. Her email is just mariahbird@gmail.com.
I say y'all got to hurry up and get this crazy lady out here. She goes around white lady with a genie outfit. She need to be banned.
All right. How you doing, ma'am? All right. So stop this right here. So they're asking me to ask you to leave.
And do you have any grounds for that that's not legal?
So they are banning you from the store, so you are going to leave.
Well, can you explain a legal reason why?
So
No, you didn't. I want a legal reason, please.
I don't have to explain anything to you, so put your stuff back.
You're illegal. Get away
this
from
way.
Me. Get away from me. I'm calling the police on you.
I am the police.
No, you're not. You're not.
So you're going to stop right here. What is your name?
I don't give strangers my name.
Stop.
Is there another police? Can I
What
see
is your name?
Can I please talk to another police? Wait a minute. What have I done legally wrong?
Okay. Let me explain to you.
Have I stolen? Have I hit anybody? Have I done anything wrong? What?
Okay, you're going to let me talk and explain?
I'm waiting.
All right, don't interrupt me again.
Go.
You don't give me any type of orders, okay? So don't interrupt.
Okay, listen, he's being a little demanding here, okay? You don't give me any types of... I'd be pissed off, but I'm not this crazy either.
Interrupt me when I'm talking.
Wait, how much are those eggs? Look at those egg prices. Thanks, Joe Biden. $2.79 a dozen? $2.99 a dozen? Are you shitting me? This is definitely Joe Biden's America. Look at the date. Look at the date.
What is your name?
I'm asking you what is the legal reason.
So they want you out of the store.
Okay, but what is the legal criteria?
Okay, let me ask you this. What have you been doing in here today? The reason that they want it?
It doesn't... I don't even know why he goes into this. It doesn't matter. They have a right to refuse service. It doesn't matter if they just don't like that she's got a towel tied up like a ponytail. It doesn't matter. He goes into this, and then she comes back with, can you prove that? Can you show me a video? It doesn't matter.
So the call that we got was you were in here causing a disturbance, cursing people out.
I didn't curse anyone.
Stuff out.
I never said a curse word. Can you put that on the video so I can see it?
I don't know. You're gonna have to ask.
I need concrete evidence, and I'd like to talk to my lawyer, please.
What is your name, ma'am?
That's not. I haven't done anything wrong, and you don't need to give anybody your name because that's called the Privacy Act. The Privacy Act under the federal law.
It's called obstruction.
Privacy Act.
It's called
the privacy is if you have not committed a crime, you don't need to give any officer. You're at the same level as me if I haven't committed a crime. You cannot use brute force on somebody who has not committed a crime. I have not cursed. Can I see it on video? Can I please see some concrete evidence? Excuse me, but what crime have I committed to warrant you guys coming in here like a army to shoot me or something. I'd like to know in legal language what crime I have committed.
Disorderly conduct.
All right, what is disorderly conduct? Please define it, and I'd like to see it on video, the disorderly conduct, so you have proof. It's their word over mine. They are citizens, I am a citizen, so we are equal. So I need a video camera to see what I have done. I want concrete evidence on a video camera to see what I have done. You're choosing their word over my word, so I need it on a video camera to look at. Can I see it on video?
So what we got is a supervisor coming here. You can speak to the supervisor when they get here.
Who's the supervisor?
He's on his way here now.
Is he a police?
Yes, he is.
Okay, well, all I'm asking is in concrete language,
Is he a police?
tell me the legal thing I have done wrong.
Okay, let me explain to you, ma'am. I've just explained it to you just minutes before. So they are asking you to leave. They say you are causing a disturbance
Okay, then let me
in the
leave.
store.
I'm going to get my lawyer. What's your name, please?
My name is Officer Carter.
Okay, Carter, and what is your name? Can I have your cards? Zinnerman, I'll
But
remember
they
that.
want
Carter.
you banned from the store.
Carter 3.
And I'm going to talk to my lawyer and get you fired.
So
Don't touch me. I didn't break any law. I have a right to defend myself under the Constitution, freedom of speech, Privacy Act. If I have not broken the law, you are equal to me. The only time a police can apprehend you is you've broken the law. And if you don't have a video,
Let's go outside.
if you don't have a video to prove to me that I broke a law, you are breaking the law because you are obstructing the Constitution of the United States of America.
That's what you're doing.
And many police
Makes sense.
have lost their badges that way.
Okay.
Mr. Carter, many have lost their badges.
Tell me
She came and stood right here, and I was walking towards her. Oh, I don't want you to happen to me because you look like you got HBO with that. You got that mask on. Then she turned around and told another.
She's an anti-masker.
No, that's not the.
She told people in the pharmacy that no one could touch her prescription if they had a mask on because they were proven they've been exposed to viruses.
First time she done did that in here. Tell me everybody that wear a mask has.
You plus a customer, and it's done happened before.
Oh yeah.
So you're not providing your name?
I haven't. First of all, you've got to provide me with the thing I've done wrong in legal terms.
I told you disorderly conduct.
All right, disorderly conduct. I need to see the video of that disorderly conduct.
Ma'am,
But
you're in the
accusing
store,
me
so
of-
you know what you've done.
You're accusing me of cursing, so can I please see it to see if I've cursed? Because you're taking her word over mine, which is illegal. Because we are equal. We're both citizens.
Here's the thing. They want you banned from the store, ma'am.
Who's they? Can I have the name of
The management.
Can I have his name, please?
You're gonna get the name. You're gonna get a form. So
I want the name of the manager who's banning me so I can take it to my attorney.
You will get that.
And you will get a letter from my attorney,
Sure,
sir.
ma'am. What's your name?
And you will too.
That's fine.
Because I have done absolutely nothing, and that's called discrimination against white people. You are a racist.
Now we get to the bottom of it.
Discriminating against a white person. How dare you?
Okay.
How dare you?
How about you provide your ID?
No, I will not. I will give it to him. I don't want to talk to you. You are a racist.
So you're being racist.
No, I am not. A racist is somebody that kicks somebody out of a store for no reason for just being white. I will talk to my lawyer about this.
So you're causing disturbance right now.
Because you are not letting me walk. That's not a disturbance. That's called self-defense. You can't go badgering people around that haven't broken the law. Give me the law I've broken in concrete language.
Let me understand.
Disorderly conduct?
Let me understand something.
I want to talk to him.
He was
Why do I have to talk to him? There's two people. I'd rather talk to you.
Because he was the first one here.
I relate better to people of my own race. I relate better. They always hit me, push me, throw garbage in my yard, push me around, cheat me, lie to me, steal my money when I do stuff. I want to talk to someone that I relate to.
What happened next? What was next?
I told my manager, and he came up here. He was like, what? But then he went to help somebody else. And when I seen him go this way, I said, you know what? I'm going to call the police and get her out of here. Can I talk to you?
I don't really.
I can relate better to you because he's telling me that he's not going to give me a legal explanation for why he's bullying me, asking for my ID. Under the Privacy Act, a police officer cannot ask for ID unless the person has committed a crime.
Right.
Not committed a crime.
She says.
Between me and the manager. So you need to give me the name of the manager here so my attorney can talk to them.
Mutual combat.
And I need the camera. I need concrete evidence on the camera showing what I have done wrong, so my attorney can size it up and see whether or not that is a reason for the manager to kick me out. Because this grocery store also has to follow business law. They cannot arbitrarily.
Business law.
Kick people out for random reasons because they don't like the person's shoes, they don't like the person's outfit. You can't
They literally can. Right to refuse service.
go doing that to people. If they don't like the way you dress, you can't kick them out of a store. I want to see it on camera. I want you to go look at it on camera. You're accusing me of something. I want you to see what you're accusing.
Unless you own a bakery and you don't want to make a cake and you piss off certain people.
Ma'am,
this business has every right to.
This is hearsay. Without the camera, this is just hearsay. Hearsay is not legal. It's hearsay. Without the camera, I need to see the camera. And I want to prove to you I have not used any profanity. I'm very cautious about people with masks because they have been exposed to COVID, and I'm telling them to stay away from me 6 feet, socially distance themselves from me over there. I said socially distance themselves because they've been exposed to the COVID. I don't want them around me. That's all I said. Go look at the camera. The people with the masks have a higher likelihood that they've been exposed to people. That's why they're paranoia with the mask. I don't want to be around those people. And when they come over to me like this close, I said, stay 6 feet away, please. Stay away from me. Don't come over to me when I use that checkout line. I told that woman, I said, when you use that checkout line, keep your distance from me. I don't want you near me. That's why they're calling the police. And when I went over to the pharmacy, I said, this country's too liberal because I know a lot of people that wear the mask have.
This country's too liberal.
See, I said, this country's too liberal because I know a lot of people that wear the mask have. That's why they wear
Have HIV.
masks in order because they're doctors. It's a law. The doctors tell them that the people that have lived in D.C. they have to wear masks because they have weaker immune systems. I don't want people handling my stuff over at the pharmacy if they have a weaker immune system. That's just the way I am. I never used any profanity. I just said keep your distance. That's all I said. You can look up the video and check it for yourself.
Well, the video's not going to get what you're saying. It's not going to record.
Well, then it's hearsay. Why are you bossing people around based on hearsay?
This is
because she's black and I'm white. So you believe a black person but not a white person.
To do with that.
Yes, it does. Evidently, it does.
So this is a business. If they want you out of the store and they want you banned, they have the right to
No,
do
they
so.
don't because, first of all, I'll tell you why. The manager of the store is not the highest level person that owns Kroger's.
Of the store
They may
right
be.
now.
That's why I need his name so I can take it to my attorney.
I told you you're going to get his name.
This is a shroud of legality, but there has not been one legal basis
A shroud of legality.
as to why you need 4 police to kick me out of a store. What are my rights? Wait a minute. This is the store's rights. What are my rights? I want to know.
Your rights are to leave the store.
All right, then why won't you let me leave?
Because you're being banned.
Well, then
I'm gonna ban
fine,
you
let me
before you
leave. Because I need to get the manager's name so I can go call an attorney.
Same. I don't have the patience.
Guys in my house who are going to ask for your name and call. He worked on the
I'd have already tased her.
5 years, the guy I live with. He's going to.
So listen to all the things the guy she lives with, her boyfriend, has done. Listen.
I need to get the manager's name so I can go call an attorney. I'm going to tell the 4 guys in my house who are going to ask for your name and call. He worked on the crime commission for 35 years. The guy
He worked on the crime commission for 35 years.
I live with, he's going to call your boss and ask what the hell's going on. My guy I live with worked for the crime commission for 35 years in this town. He knows every single person in town. He's going to raise hell.
Okay, what is your first and last name?
I don't give that because I have not committed a crime. It's private. Privacy Act.
So, ma'am, as of right now, you're trespassing right now?
Well, no,
ma'am.
Nope, you are trespassing.
Wait, you have to warn somebody they're trespassing so they can leave, and then you leave. That's all. You're breaking all the laws.
Not that I know of.
There's nothing legal. Hearsay. He doesn't like me. Get out of the store. Yeah, get out of the store. Why are you blocking me?
Are you refusing to give your name?
That isn't the question.
No, I'm asking you right now.
Yes, I am. Take me in. Yeah, arrest me for not giving my name because I want to have a word with my lawyer as to why 4 bully policemen come in here, want personal information about me when I have committed no crime.
Because you're going to get banned from the store right now.
Right, but
So
you don't ask people
we need your name.
personal. No, I don't want to give my name because it's private. If they want to ban me from the store, take a picture of me. I will be out of here, but they will be hearing from my lawyer. They might be shutting down as far as I can tell. Because you can't go arbitrarily believing a black person over a white person. That's what this is about. I told a black person to socially distance themselves from me, and now because I'm white, I'm being kicked out of the store because I'm white. I'm being kicked out of the store because I'm white. It's a black person's word over a white person's word. No, because that's illegal.
What's your name?
I don't give
Now
private
you're being
information.
disorderly
Because
in
I
front of
should
our
be,
president.
because you're breaking the Constitution.
We're just trying to figure out what's going on.
Well, let me go. That's what you can figure out. You just told me I'm trespassing, so leave me alone. 5 police for a person shopping? Where's our tax money going? And secondly, the guy I live with worked 25 years on the crime commission, and then my argument is give me the camera so I can look at the reason they're banning me, because that's concrete evidence. The legal argument.
You're causing a disturbance.
All right, now I am, because you've got 5 police bullying you.
You got customers that have been complaining about you.
Oh, okay, can I have the names of the customers so I can tell my attorney? Okay, that could be the mafia because they don't like white people, for all I know.
The mafia doesn't like white people?
Hello.
That could be the mafia. I don't know.
Ma'am, focus on me. I'm Sergeant Mustafa. I'm here.
Wait, can I have your name, please, in writing?
Sure.
Your name.
Yeah, I'll give you that later.
Okay.
But you're gonna listen to me right now. Okay.
That's
Here's
not
the deal.
polite language.
That's fine. You're not being polite to these officers. So here's the deal. Under Georgia law, when they ask for your name, you're supposed to provide it, or you could be arrested.
No, my boyfriend works for the CIA.
I don't care.
The CIA? I thought he's on the crime commission.
You're supposed to provide it, or you could be arrested.
No, my boyfriend works for the CIA.
I don't care
in DC.
who your boyfriend
He tells
works
you,
for.
go to jail. I want to go to jail. Bring me to jail right now. I want to talk to a magistrate.
Oh, that's it. Do not resist.
Crime commission, CIA.
Thank you, ma'am.
I want to talk to a magistrate. You do not have to freaking give your name to somebody when you have not committed a crime. That is called the Privacy Act of the United States of America, and you are breaking the Constitution. You don't give your name when you don't break a law. For all I know, you're going to rob my house. I don't know who you are.
Thank you, ma'am.
I do not know who these men are. These are mafia. These are thugs. I have not broken any law. I have not done anything to anybody. And these guys are arresting me because I'm white. And they are the mafia. Can you show me on your computer or in writing that you have to give a person a name if you haven't broken a law?
You did break a law.
I did not break a law.
You were being disorderly inside that store.
That's not a law.
Disorderly conduct.
That's the stores of police, you're telling me. The manager of the stores of police is his word over mine.
Ma'am, here's the deal.
Have you looked at a video?
Ma'am, he wants to ban you from the store. That's his prerogative. That's his store. If he wants to ban you, that's his prerogative.
Yes.
Okay? So, here's the deal. You can cooperate with us, but right now, we asked you for your name multiple times. The reason is we have to have that on the sheet of paper, because how we're going to identify.
All right. P-R-O-U-T-Y. It's going to rain. But I'm telling you, the guy I live with is going to be furious.
So she gave her name, then immediately said, it's going to rain. She's fucking loopy, dude.
He works secretly for the FBI.
FBI. CIA, FBI, crime, what did she say? Crime board or something like that?
But I'm telling you, the guy I live with is going to be furious. He works secretly for the FBI.
I understand.
Secretly for the FBI.
I am not joking. My boyfriend's he works in D.C. at the Watergate. It's one of his condos. He told me to come to Savannah to get away from the area because that's where his assignment is. And he is my boyfriend.
So here's what's going to happen. All it is they're going to ban you from the store. It's really nothing.
But there is no legal basis. Why are you protecting them and not my rights?
Ma'am, he has the right to kick you out of the store and ban you under a city ordinance.
5 cops. I was willing to leave, but he wouldn't let me leave. I don't give my name. I'm sticking with my boyfriend. I believe in my boyfriend. He said you never give your name to a cop if you have not broken the law under the Privacy Act of the United States, and he knows every ordinance and every law of this.
Well, they don't want you on the property anymore. Now once you're off this area, you're off their property.
You can't. I'll even talk to my ex-husband, and you know what he'll say?
That's fine.
He'll say a grocery store cannot kick you out unless you do something illegal because you need food. You have to be able to buy food.
Okay.
No.
That doesn't make sense. Oh, no?
My ex-husband knows all the laws. Everyone knows the laws but the police.
Just relax, man.
I'm telling you, I'm furious because you're breaking my... Don't touch me, please.
Stop,
I didn't break any law.
You can't be walking around, or else we'll put you in the back of the car.
My boyfriend will you if you touch me. I am telling you the truth. He works for the CIA. He's higher than you. He will you, Anderson. I'm serious. Do not touch me.
Ma'am, I don't want to hear threats made to officers in front of you.
It's figurative.
Okay?
It's
Are you
figurative.
diagnosed with...
Touch me. I am telling you the truth. He works for the
You can't be walking around, or else we'll put you in the back of the car.
My boyfriend will you if you touch me. I am telling you the truth. He works for the CIA. He's higher than you. He will
Back to the CIA.
Anderson, I'm serious. Do not touch me.
Ma'am, I don't want to hear threats made to officers in front of me.
It's figurative.
Okay?
It's
Are you
figurative.
diagnosed with anything I need to know?
No, I'm not. But it's figurative. What I mean is he will have him fired for touching me. Okay. Why does he need cops? Can you let go? Can you let go?
Yes, sir. Was she willing to leave?
No. All right, why not?
That's very important. Was she willing to leave before you guys were asking her these questions?
The cops fucked up. She is crazy. She is a lunatic. She's fucking psycho. The cops did fuck up, right? If she's willing to leave immediately, depending on what state you're in, if you're willing to leave immediately, they can't compel you to get their name. They can take a picture of you while you're leaving and say this person's banned. But in a lot of states, they can't compel you to give you their name unless you show up again after they've already trespassed you and they recognize you. Then they can say this person's trespassed, and then you're going to be arrested.
That's very important. Was she willing to leave before you guys were asking her these questions? Was she willing to step outside?
Not to my knowledge.
Was she refusing to leave?
For the minute.
Yes.
With her.
Well, let me check that. Was she refusing to leave prior to us?
She was refusing to give her name.
That's it?
She said she would leave, but Carter was.
I tried to leave, but he would not let me leave.
In that case,
I tried to leave.
I would just ban her and let her go. Because if she was willing to leave, it's not trespass.
It's not trespass.
Yeah, she gave us. She finally gave us her name. Yeah. Now she gives false name. That's a whole different matter.
No, I leave for my word.
Ma'am, do you have identification in your purse so we can help?
The reason is the city ordinance regarding a ban.
Okay, I'll give you my real name. That was my sister's name.
So the cop says the only way that she's in trouble is if she gave you a fake name. And the guy's like, you got ID so we can verify your name? I'll give you my real name now. That was my sister's name, who's also married to all my husbands.
If she was willing to leave, it's not trespass.
It's not trespass.
Yeah, she gave us. She finally gave us her name. Yeah. Now she gives false name. That's a whole different matter.
No, I leave for my word.
Ma'am, do you have identification in your purse so we can help?
The reason is the city ordinance regarding a ban.
Okay, I'll give you my real name. That was my sister's name. The reason being...
That's a crime.
You just rewrite it.
Title 16, crime...
That is no crime. Just rewrite the name. Just rewrite it. That's no crime.
Offense is Chapter 10, Offense Against Public Administration. Article 2, Obstruction of Public Administration.
But it doesn't say you have to give your name if you haven't committed a crime.
Giving false names, address, or birthday.
Because I don't know who you are. Do I believe you're really police if you're going into a grocery store bothering a woman?
Yeah, how do you prove you're real police?
Why would you believe you're real law enforcement?
Ma'am, what's your real name?
With the intent of misleading the officers as to identify...
I want to talk to a lawyer.
Guilty or...
I want to talk to a lawyer. Okay. Do you want to see my Virginia ID?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I can't get it with handcuffs, and I do not want you going in my bag because...
Well, you're under arrest because you gave us a false ID.
You can't arrest a person for a... You're invading my privacy. Everybody would do the same thing.
No,
Everybody would give you a fake name.
I did not break a law.
You broke a few laws now.
Well, first of all, I don't
Regina flabbergasted.
know if you're going to my house to harass me or you're going to abuse me. Nobody gives their information.
I don't know if you're going to my house to harass, rape, and abuse me, is what she just said.
If you haven't broken a law.
This is your ID from Virginia, right? We have no idea where you live.
Yeah, but I have not broken a law, so I don't have to give you my ID.
Then you became disorderly in front of us by raising your voice, by making racist remarks.
Those are all just
in our presence.
sensational comments by you that are opinionated. They're opinions. They're not.
If she got you, listen, let's say you were just hanging out with this woman by yourself or with your partner, just a couple people, and she was away from the store and away from the public. Okay? She's away from the store, away from the public, none of this pressure on her. How do you think in that moment she would actually refer to black people?
Concrete statements that are facts.
Please don't put it in chat.
You have to show a video of me trying to fight you.
Where is your ID?
Or let me get my own ID, please. No. I don't want you touching my money.
You know what? I'm not
I had
touching
money
your money.
stolen by a cop in Manassas,
Alright, well,
Virginia.
you're gonna watch me. Come here.
I don't want cops. Just stop touching my money. Since there's no gun or anything in there like a knife.
Ma'am, you're in handcuffs because you're under arrest for giving us a false name.
This looks a little absurd to the public. I hate to tell you this, mister. This looks like
I hate to tell you this, mister.
uniforms. That's what it looks like. A bunch of thugs. Get out of my wallet. And now you're robbing me. Help! They're robbing me! Help! They're robbing me! Now he's...
It's funny they all say ma'am all at once. Ma'am!
That's what it looks like. A bunch of thugs. Get out of my wallet. And now you're robbing me. Help! They're robbing me! Help! They're robbing me! Now he's
Mine?
stealing my money. These thugs.
Put her in the car.
Give me my pocketbook. It has no weapons in it. Can I have my pocketbook? You saw it has no weapons in it.
You can't have a... Take a seat.
Wait a minute. I want my pocketbook. You guys are a bunch of mafia.
If you connect those moles on her back, they actually spell out Illuminati. I did this earlier.
Take a seat.
Wait a minute. I want my pocketbook.
I think she might be a clone.
You guys are a bunch of Irish mafia thugs, and you're gonna get it good.
Take a seat.
Irish mafia thugs. You will be getting it.
Irish Mafia now?
I promise you, not just you, your whole police force is gonna get it. Thugs. Thugs. Uniformed thugs. Uniformed thugs. Uniformed thugs. Help! Uniformed thugs.
Hey, we just got to seatbelt you in as long as you're in a car. Okay, that's our policy.
Yeah, well, I don't really care because why would I listen to a thug in a uniform? I haven't broken any law. You cannot arrest somebody for not breaking a law. Can I file a discrimination report against British by Irish? Irish people discriminate. Black and white Irish.
Against British by Irish.
Mafia discriminate against black and white British. I'm British. I'm 100%
Irish Mafia with black people discriminate against the British. She's British.
British. So I would like to file a thing against Irish people discriminating and spitting on me.
So you're going to be sent a subpoena. So after the subpoena is sent towards, then we'll go talk to a judge. But so you don't have to go to jail today. We're going to take you home and release you.
I can't be getting kicked out of grocery stores or my money stolen from them at the cashier register. They don't put all my groceries in the bag. They steal them, and then I get home and find out my groceries are missing because the black mafia keeps doing stuff to me. My boyfriend's Swedish. He gets treated badly by blacks because he's Swedish. All I'm trying to tell you,
Her boyfriend's also Swedish.
the blacks are using reverse racism, and they're teaming up with the Irish.
The blacks are using reverse racism by teaming up with the Irish to go after the British.
Against British whites, they're venting on us because the Irish whites are helping them vent on the British whites. So the British are getting spit on for no reason, kicked out of stores.
Take this all the way to Drayton.
Blacks keep stealing my money. So I tell the lady at the cash register, stay away from me, don't get near my stuff. Because they steal. Black people.
So at first it was because they were wearing a mask, right? She just didn't want mask people running. Now it's the black lady steals. Black people steal. I didn't want the black lady near my money at the cash register.
Stare at me with a bellicose expression on their face like they want to go to war with me, just walking down the street. British people with directed energy weapons, too. They have them. They bought them on the black market.
Whoa. Directed energy weapons?
Yeah, the Irish mafia has directed energy weapons they bought on the market.
Have you seen those locally?
No.
By the way, this cop, we should be more concerned about this cop. She just said direct energy weapons, and the cop's like, whoa. What do you know about direct energy weapons? Have you seen some? Have you seen them? I'd like to go investigate those.
No, but I've seen all these people that are Swedish, British, and German all die overnight from what looked like natural causes, but that was too sudden.
Hey, give them our mileage.
I would like to
All right, we finally got her home. Now she doesn't have all this public pressure on her. Let's see what she's really got to say.
fill out a description.
But so is the cop. He should have just laughed when she said direct energy weapons. He wants to investigate it.
Discrimination against white people. Yeah, do you have one of those discrimination racism against whites?
That's a legal thing, not that's like a civil, not a criminal.
Well, where is the form?
You have to get it from the.
They have those in D.C. They have them in D.C. Why don't they have?
Do they?
You have to get them from the courthouse.
You want to know why I got kicked out of Parker's by a black? I said.
By a black?
The price of the egg salad sandwich is preposterous. What happened? Why did it go up $1? You're never allowed in the store. For saying the egg salad sandwich price is preposterous, it's preposterous is a British word, and she's Irish. And
Ooh,
British people.
they knew it.
Preposterous.
That makes
It's
sense.
getting ridiculous. I want to talk to a judge.
I agree. This is your band form with the manager's name?
Yeah, now I have to starve to death because the Irish Mafia doesn't want me in their black store because the Irish blacks are paid by the white Irish to keep us British people out.
All right, Miss Purdy, we got to go.
All right. Fine. I got another thing for you, too. It isn't illegal to say that. I never said this in the store.
She's getting brave. All right, here's the setup. Okay, I'll leave. I have another question for you. It isn't illegal to say. Well, listen, I've never said this in a store before. I've never said this in a store before. I just want to make sure if I do in the future that this isn't illegal, right?
I never said this in the store. I call them, when they pick on me, I call them low breeds. I call them low breeds. But out in public, I call them.
What? So in the store, I call them low breeds. A lower breed of person. But out in public, I call them ninjas. Just right out there. It was such a hard R, even Scott Rogers could have pronounced it.
I call them low breeds, but out in public, I call them whites and blacks.
Okay, so that's why you're getting kicked out of the store.
No, I didn't say that there.
But it doesn't matter. If you say low breed.
I never said low breed in there. I said keep your social distance from me because I got robbed twice.
You low breed.
Store, I got robbed. I'm just telling you, where's my rug? But can I fill out a form?
She's still talking. They're just leaving. They don't know what to do. Panic. Panic stricken.
With disorderly conduct and providing a false name to law enforcement officers. Additionally, she was permanently banned from Kroger. Share your thoughts below.
I'm gonna run around randomly calling people hybrids.
Oh, and remember to like.
Not hybrids. Hybrids.
Subscribe for more videos.
Oh, you think you're fancy? Well, you got a pedigree? Go to a dog show so somebody can feel if you're in heat? You hybrided son of a bitch. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Support the show if you want to. We're going through a tight spot right now over at coldbeer.fund. We greatly appreciate it. If nothing else, you can see me pop out of a nice Asian man's clean butthole. So that's always good. But thank you guys for joining us. Thank you for being here. Thanks for hanging out with me. I'll be back tomorrow. Love you. See you. Bye. Have a good night. Everybody send abnormally strange crawling videos to mariahbird@gmail.com. Mariah Bird, B-Y-R-D, not I-Y, MERRIAH, BYRD@gmail.com. Thank you. It's got to be crawling.
If this douchebag happens to see this particular show,
Mariah made me help a homeless person today. It felt so beneath me.
by name and tell them exactly who they are and tell them the rest of the world who they are. You don't have the fork and balls. You don't have the balls.
Okay, Scott.
Here we go, I think I started some shit. Listen off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in the best, you know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen none yet. That's what I think I started some shit. Listen off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in the best, you know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen none yet. And they say that I'm a lunatic. Well, listen, bitch, I came equipped with a quick wit and a 6 cents for the stupid shit. Where my true believers? Y'all need Jesus. Praise the Lord and to the extreme. All these false fucking prophets who profit off of gossip. Worshipping drums, cocking, begging for a throat deposit. Swinging fucking meat hammers like Thor in a thong. He's strapped to the shaft, beating his chest like he's King Kong. Starving for attention, I'ma make your gut burst. I'll be your huckleberry, I can quench that thirst. Baby eating lizard people, alien sex. What's next? Trump in a dress, fucking Flynn on his desk. A retard in a vest, climbing up 5G towers. Cause you told him if he did, he'd get fucking superpowers. Here we go, I think I started some shit. Piss them off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in them bets, you know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen none yet. Here we go, I think I started some shit. Piss them off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in them bets, you know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen none yet. I used to find clues too when I was high on shrooms. I found myself a tunnel that led to Jason Q's bedroom. Open his closet, I found some of his meat rockets. I strapped them to my shoes and then I flew through the roof. I found myself in orbit strapped to an F-16. High on amphetamine, with Trump in between. Put on a light coat of baby oil and saluted the troops. He tapped me on the shoulder and said, "This is gonna be it." Whoa, wait. Stop. What? I'll get my files. Wait, what are you doing? It's a... Stop. Hold on. Fucking stop. Dude.
Have a good night, guys.
Seriously. This is my mom's and